Hey everybody, welcome back to Pepito's Take. Before I start, I would love you guys to subscribe below. I left off on episode 3 talking about my injury. It was one of the worst injury in my career. And it was a tough one just because of the time that it happened, right? During all these great moments, having the best season of my career, getting offers from all the biggest teams, being on a national team. So injuries, unfortunately, took away all of that. I told you guys that I had my first surgery. My first surgery didn't go well because after 5.5 months, I re-injured it again in training. Then I had to do another surgery to refill my bone. And that was another 5 months of rest so the bone could heal. And then I was able to do my reconstruction. During that time frame, Villarreal weren't doing well. Villarreal went into second division. And in order to make ends meet financially, we decided, me and Villarreal, to part ways. Here comes Fiorentina. They came to New York to talk to me. The director during that period was Daniele Prade. And I remember sitting on Fifth Ave, me and him just chatting away. I also did have a couple more teams that did come to New York also that did speak to me. But there was something about Fiorentina that just stuck. I felt as if they really, really wanted me, that they believed in me, that they were going to give me time to heal. And give me the opportunity to come back and show my true self again. So we made the decision to sign for Fiorentina. Like I said, I was still injured. I was still recovering from the second surgery. So I signed December, and going through all my rehab, I finally played my first game after a year and a half. I played my first game against Pescara. It was a liberation because, listen, a year and a half of rehab, a year and a half of being away from something you love so much, and being away from literally the top of the game hurt. And it was a journey. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how I approach problems. And the most important thing is that I learned that nothing could keep me down. That my dream to play the game, to be the best that I could be, was so much stronger than any setback. Finally, got my game in. I played 20, 25 minutes. I touched the ball 10, 15 times. It was beautiful. It was great. My mother came with me. She was in the stands. She was happy. So everything was great. We fast forward to the beginning of the next year. The coach, Vincenzo Montella, he trusted me from day one. Everybody knew about my qualities. Everybody knew what I was capable of doing it. But was I able to show it again? And I think I proved a lot of people wrong because I really wanted it. I really wanted to touch the top again. Because once you're up there, it's such a great feeling, right? Because everything you touch, everything you do, it just makes you feel good, right? So Vincenzo Montella gave me the possibility to start the first game against Catania, and I scored. From then on, starting every single game, I was able to gain the trust of the team. I was able to get the trust of the fans. There comes a specific game. I think it was after 8 games of the season. The game that cemented myself in the history of Fiorentina. October 20th, 2013. Fiorentina Juventus. I never knew that there was a huge rivalry between Fiorentina and Juve. After the game, I did a lot of research on why there was such this huge rivalry. Supposedly, there were a couple things that happened during a game, I don't know, in the 50s or the 60s, where Juventus won the Scudetto, but they shouldn't have won it. And Fiorentina should have won it. So just think about this. In the 50s and the 60s, till today, that's the grudge that Fiorentina holds against Juventus. And that's just the beauty of things, man. Having these rivalries that continue to last, I feel like it's beautiful. And only in soccer, there's so many rivalries like this. And I was lucky enough to be an important part of this game. We get out of the hotel, like same routine as always, and I'm starting to see more and more fans on the street. And I'm like, this is unusual. This is not something that happens all the time, right? When you're at the stadium, you got the fans around the bus and they start singing and all that. But literally from when we get out of the hotel, which was a 10-minute ride, you got fans, you have bikes that are coming, that are riding alongside you. You have the mopeds that are coming, that are riding beside you. So you're feeling as if there's something important about this game. Mind you, I didn't know about this rivalry. We get to the stadium. You're feeling that passion, that that like craziness from the fans, something that I never felt before up to that point. So yeah, once we get out of the bus, you feel like this is a special game. Obviously, it's Juventus, right? Obviously, it's Juventus, and it's a team, one of the biggest teams in the world, and you're already psyched about playing one of the best teams in the world. But to add on the rivalry, it just makes this game even bigger than what it was. Game starts. I'll never forget, in the first 2 minutes of the game, Barzali fouls me from behind, and my back. I feel my back. I feel something in my back. And it hurt. It hurt. So from the second minute on, I was playing with this pain in my back. And I remember at halftime, I had to put on a brace because of the pain. I couldn't really bend down too much. So it was something where I'm like to myself, man, this is such a big game. 2 minutes in, and I'm already playing in pain. Like, why does this have to happen to me? Right? Like, let me just be free. We used to play a 4-3-3, and I was the lone striker up top. And when I say that I was a lone striker, I was lone up there, man. Against Bonucci, Barzali, Chiellini. It was tough. It was tough to get the ball to Mongo. We were able to create some chances, but they were the better team in the first half. They were able to score 2 goals. One from Devitt on a penalty kick, and he does a stupid celebration, which basically imitates Gabriel Omar Batistuta, one of the legends of Fiorentina. And he imitates that celebration towards our fans. 5-10 minutes after, Pogba scores goal number 2. He does the same exact celebration. So being down 2-0, fans are upset. Celebrations, the way that they did, even more. So they were helpless. The fans were like, there has to be something that these guys have to do, because they can't let a team punk us that way. So we get back into the changing room. Montella gives his speech, a very short speech, loud and clear. Like, just wake up. Literally, guys, just wake up. Do something, right? We need 1 goal, and that's the only thing, and that's the first objective of the second half. Just get 1 goal, because once it does, the game just opens up by itself. So we all just looked at each other. Let's go. I don't remember the minute, but Mati Fernandez gets a ball in the box, shields the ball from Asamoah tackles him, penalty kick. I was a penalty kick shooter of the team, and I had Buffon in front of me. Remember episode 3 about what I talked about with Buffon, how it was very hard to score against him, how I studied him a lot. And I was able to score against him in training on a penalty kick. So Buffon knew exactly what I wanted to do. To be the best, you have to prepare yourself a lot. So I'm sure he prepares himself for every game and for whoever he has to face, right? So I'm always thinking, if a penalty happens, this is what I'm going to do. And I decided to not use my usual run up to the ball, because I know Gigi would have guessed it and would have timed it properly in order to go out. So usually I like to stutter step and then shoot and wait for the goalkeeper to move. In this instance, I just went straight on the ball, hit it nice and hard. You could see that he was a little bit late on the ball, because I'm sure that he was expecting the stutter step. And we score 2-1. Fans going wild. Stadium going wild. We're back in it. But I'm not joking, man. From that moment till the last minute of the game, it was all a blur. X amount of time goes. Little bit of time goes. I pressure the ball. I tip it. Goes to Pizarro. Pizarro gets it at the halfway line. Finds Mattia between the lines. Mattia Fernandez between the lines. Mattia Fernandez is pressured. Gives it to me. I'm able to do a little pirouette, whatever it was that I did against Pogba. Found myself on the 18, and I hit the ball very, very clean, and I was able to score. If you look at the replay, the ball dips just in time underneath Gigi's hand, because once you hit a ball square on, that ball starts moving a little bit left and right, dips up and down. So I was able to create enough power in that short instance to make that ball, luckily, go just underneath Buffon's hand, 2-2. We're celebrating, and I have no energy. I literally have no energy, because being able to come down from 2-0, 2-2, everybody just celebrating with you, what a feeling, man. What a feeling. So you guys think, 2-2, we're going to start playing a little bit back, because we're able to come back from such a great result. Nah, I'm not joking. Maybe after 2 or 3 minutes. Cuadrado is on the wing, passes it back to a player, is able to find, I forgot who it was, if it was Pascual or if it was Borja Valero, able to find Joaquin in the middle of the box by himself. I was able to make a run, taking away my defender, Chiellini, because he started following me. Joaquin is all by himself, slots it in, 3-2. You don't understand, like 3 goals in such a short period of time against your rivals. That was amazing, man. That was one of the best feelings I ever had in the sport. I remember trying to celebrate with Joaquin. Me and Cuadrado were sitting on the border of the field, trying to just catch our breath. Like we couldn't even like jump on him and do it. No, we're just trying to catch our breath because just that energy, man. There was so much energy that was, being put into the game, and plus the celebrations. Like, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I still feel it right now. I literally still feel those emotions. Those emotions were just crazy. And 3-2. Doesn't stop there though. Doesn't stop there. So yes, 3-2. You start going a little bit back. Juventus have the ball a little bit more, and there's a play where on the wing, they're able to cross the ball. There's a header of ours from one of our defenders. Borja, with a beautiful first touch, is able to free Cuadrado on the 20-yard line on our side of the pitch, and he's free. If you guys don't know Cuadrado, that guy's a runner. That guy is a runner. So he sprints down the field, 85th minute probably was. Still with that energy to go. And guess what? I was the guy up top, so I'm starting to sprint with him. And literally it was a 2-on-1. So he's able to go get close to the box, pass the ball in the middle, man, whip it around Buffon, 4-2, 3 goals. My first hat trick in my career. I was going crazy, man. Going crazy. Stadium, crazy. They were still celebrating the third goal. And we scored the 4th one, man. Are you kidding me? So I go near the fans. I just lay down. The whole team's on top of me. I'm telling everybody, guys, just please get off, because I can't breathe. Like, that was the feeling underneath there. What a game. What a game. Game ends 4-2. We get back into the changing room. Celebrations, going wild. We take our showers. We get out. I'm not joking. Still after like 2 hours that the game finished, we get out of the changing room. There's hundreds and hundreds of fans outside that are still singing. So one of them's like, "Hey, come out." So I go out. Bro, I'm not joking. Everybody's just singing the new song that they had for me, which was "Oh, il fenomeno." And that's a song that for them, it's kind of sacred because they use it only for a few players in their history of the game. So just gives me chills just singing it right now, because it's great. It's great. And that was the day that I cemented myself in the history of Fiorentina. The season goes by, and I'm doing amazing. I'm leading goal scorer. We come back from Christmas break. We're second place. First place is Juve, of course. But for us, it was just amazing being able to finish half of the season in second place. Another date that I'll never forget is January 6th. January 6th, we play against Livorno. So just a little bit of context. Up to then, personally, I played 18 games. I scored 14 goals. I am back, baby. I am back. And I'm back on top of the world. And had a couple dinners with directors from teams, very, very important, in England, another one in Italy. But then January 6th happens. January 6th, like I said, we're playing against Livorno. And 65th minute, I get a ball. My back is to the goal. I turn. The guy gets me from behind. I twist, and I start hearing noise in my knee again. That sucked, man. That sucked because it's like deja vu. Right? It's deja vu. You're like, all right, you know what? Happened one time. Is it going to happen again? Like, why does it have to happen at the moment where, I'm back on top? So when I heard that, I was crying on the field. I never cry. But on the field, I was. I know I know something was wrong. I know that there's going to be some time missed. Not only getting back to being on top and being a leading goal scorer, but there was the World Cup. So we went to many doctors. We talked to the doctors, and I could have done two things. I could have operated myself, done the whole knee construction, taken longer. I would have been 100. My knee would have been 100%, and I would have started my season next year. But I would have missed the World Cup. Or take a more conservative type of way in approaching this injury. Don't get operated. Heal with time, and then see how you feel. So what I had was a partial tear of my ACL, meaning that only a few fibers were left intact. So it wasn't a full tear of my ACL. I really wanted to play the World Cup. I didn't want to miss another one. I didn't want to miss another tournament with Italy, so I chose that way. We went through our rehab. We did what we had to do. I went back to New York. I worked with my physical therapist, and I was able to come back in April after 3 months. How did I feel? I felt good. Did I feel perfect? No, but I felt good. I was able to maintain a certain level of play, not by words, but by facts. As I played the last 3 games, I scored 2 goals. And therefore, I was like, you know what? I could compete. I could continue. I could continue at the level that I was and being decisive for my team, Fiorentina, and for the national team. A moment of my career that, I wish it didn't happen. I learned a lot about the soccer world during this moment was when I had a conversation with the Italian national team coach. We had a conversation in the parking lot. Maybe it was a week before the national team would get together and train to then make the final squad. So before then, he trusted me a lot. Prandelli, he took me and made me a very important player for the team, and that's always great, and I do appreciate that. But it was also something that I earned. It's not something that was given. And he played me every single time. So it was great. I thought I had a very good relationship with him. In the parking lot, we had a conversation. He comes up to me and says, Giuseppe, I don't know what to do. I told him, give me the time to prove you wrong, to prove to you that I'm able to play, that I'm good to go. That's exactly what I told him. He was like, okay, prove to me that you're ready to go. That's all I needed to hear. I didn't want to hear him say yes or no. I was like, put the ball in my court. I'll take care of it. I got called up to the squad. Many, many tests were taken, not only me, for the whole team. If it was strength, if it was endurance, if it was sprinting, cutting, everything possible, right? And I did very well in every aspect of those testing. I was training so well during that period that a player on the team, I'll mention his name, comes up to one of my good friends that played for me in Fiorentina and said, listen, the coach told me that Giuseppe is looking good, so I won't be going to the World Cup. So this got referred back to me. This was like towards the last day. You don't understand how happy I was. So I was like, yes, I did it. Like I did. I put my mind to something and I'm going. I was ecstatic. I was so happy, right? We had a scrimmage game against Ireland. The day after, I heard what my friend told me. So I started. Mind you, I didn't play my best, but nor did the whole team. I think we lost. I'm not sure. Let's fact check that. But one of our important players broke his leg. Montolivo. He broke his leg during that game. That was devastating. So then we fly back to Italy, and he starts giving out the names. So in this case, different from what Lippi did, in this case, people's names will be called while we were in the changing room getting massages or whatnot. People would hear their name, go inside the changing room, and talk with the coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players go. I'm getting a massage, and I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling confident. I'm like, we're good. Giuseppe Rossi. My heart drops. My heart drops. I'm like, it can't be. I was the last player. It can't be. Stop my massage, go in to talk. When I heard the first thing, obviously, he says, you're not coming? I canceled everything. I canceled all the noise that was coming from his mouth. Just because I'm saying to myself, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this deja vu moment again is happening. Literally, I did everything I could to put myself in a position to excel. I excelled. What was referred to me from the words, from the mouth of the coach, how the certain player would not be going because Giuseppe is looking good in training. It just made me feel that feeling again, the betrayal feeling, the million questions that you ask yourself, why? So there you go, 2 World Cups in a row, gone. When the coach told me that I wasn't going, I was crying, kind of stormed out a little bit of the changing room. All my teammates were in shock. I received many messages from my teammates supporting me and just, being there for me, which was great, and I really do appreciate all that. But it shouldn't happen. I shouldn't be receiving these text messages. But, yeah, man, I stormed out. I was out, called a taxi, get my bags up, and I left. I took my first flight back home. I told my wife, I'm like, Jenna, let's go. We had some other type of vacation left. I'm like, listen, I don't want to go to that vacation. That's too much. I want something chill, relax. And we just went for 5 days, a week, whatever it was, to just forget about everything. That was a period of my life where it's like a lot of crap was happening, right? It's like injuries. And now this again. Not going to, the World Cups, the Euros, or whatever it was. Just things that are happening over and over. It's like a test. It's like life's testing me. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this happening? Right? Why is this happening? But these are the experiences that made me who I am today. These are experiences that you learn so much about yourself. Right? How do you react to adversity? And without these experiences, 100% won't be the person I am today. I'm very proud of the person that I am today. Very, very proud. And sometimes I do like to pat myself on the back because I think sometimes you need that. Do I have any regrets? I don't. I don't have any regrets regarding my actions, regarding what I did up to those decisions, because anything that I could have done, I did. But like I said before, the dream is bigger than any setback. So you think that all these negative feelings, are not gonna happen no more, right? Juice, you had enough, man. It's crazy. Like a lot of injuries, you're good. People taking away your dreams, you're good. Nope. That off season, after the World Cup, we get back to preseason. Chip on my shoulder. Training hard. August comes, a week or two before training, before the season starts. We're doing crosses. The ball comes up in the air. I go up on the head ball. I try to trap it, whatever it was. I land, crack. Another. So it's like, bro, like, what is going on? Another very serious injury. I sat out the whole entire season until the season after. And it was a very bad meniscus tear. A little bit of an ACL problem. It was crazy. It was too much, man. It was literally too much. So I'm literally sitting out another 10 months. 10 months. These are the parts of a player's career that suck. Everybody looks at the beauty and how everybody's like living the high life and, contracts here, money over there, all the nice things around the player. But what you don't see are these things, which are moments like these that happen to a player. What do they go through? How do they live their day-by-day life when these situations happen? I don't think there's nobody in soccer that has had the injuries I did. Nobody that continued to believe in the dream every single time after every injury happened. And I was somebody, man, who took all these problems head on. The first day, yeah, you're second guessing everything that you did. You're asking yourself a million questions, so many hypotheticals. But if this didn't happen, I could be this. If this didn't happen, I would be there. Questions that have no answers, right? So it's just literally a waste of time. Getting away from playing the victim every single time these situations happen to you. That's what I learned. And the earlier you're able to forget about all that noise, literally that's just noise, and attack the problem day by day, the better you're going to be. And it's not something that you could do by yourself. You cannot do that by yourself. You have to have the right people around you. I chose to have my surgeries back in the States. I learned my lesson from my first one that I went to Spain and it didn't happen. It just wasn't done properly. So I learned my lesson. I wanted to be around my family. They're the ones who gave me the strength. They're the ones who gave me comfort. They were there for me every single step of the way. So like I said, important to have the right people around you. But once you close the physio doors and you're on the table and you're doing your exercises, that's the true test of pushing yourself as much as you can to get past the little obstacles that are in front of you every single day. You can't be looking too much in the future. All right? You can't look too much in the future. You have to think about things day by day by day, because those little obstacles day by day, once you're able to get past them, it's just as satisfying as scoring 3 goals against Juventus. Trust me. Every day, getting past those little obstacles is such a great feeling because you're this much closer to where you want to be. So I took on these 10 months back in America, working by myself. Whenever it was time to get back to Fiorentina, to continue to compete, to continue to be part of the team, to try and feel like a soccer player again. Right? Because sometimes, man, when you're watching the games, which is so hard to watch games on TV, you kind of forget a little bit, like those people that are playing, that's me. Right? When you're just away from the game for so long, you start thinking you're not. And I skipped the whole entire year. Preseason comes. A new coach comes in, Paulo Sousa. And it was a gradual way of attacking my fitness, which was getting games slowly. And I felt like I'm back physically. Things that I was doing with the ball, just me being on the field, being able to do things that I did back in the past. But the problem is that once you get too many injuries, people lose trust in you. And therefore, you have to remind the people that, hey, you could trust me. I'm the same player that I was when I came in. Yes, I have a couple of extra scars, but this right here changed. The sensibility of the feet and the way you're playing and decision making is there. The knees, yeah, they're a little bit different, but up here, we're strong. Up here, this is what changed. Have faith in me. But the new coach didn't have so much faith. He had his set team, rightfully so. We were doing very good, so I was on the bench. And I came in whenever I could have. What I didn't appreciate was the talks that he would have with me and saying, yeah, you're going to get in. No, don't worry about it, man. I'm training Giuseppe Rossi. Do you believe this? Like, just trying to hype me up, like as if I needed to be hyped up. I didn't need to be hyped up. I just needed to be on the field, man. Like, don't be no cheerleader in front of me. And then you go and do the opposite, right? So didn't really get along with the coach that was there. Not my cup of tea as a guy. So I had to leave. I had to leave in January to find another team that would give me playing space. And that's when I went on loan to Levante in Spain. Levante, I was able to play 17 games. I was able to score 6 goals. I was back playing every single game. So things were good, man. Things were good. I was happy. I get back to Fiorentina. I'm gonna prove Paulo Sousa wrong again because of the 6 months that I had, the season that I had. Preseason happens. I'm starting a few games. I felt like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be the guy up top with my striking partner. And that wasn't the case. I didn't want to be in the presence of somebody that didn't trust me. I didn't want to be in the presence of a personality trait that he had. I don't like being around people like that. So it was the right time to change atmosphere. It was the right time to change team. And that was the last time that I played for Fiorentina. And now, Pepito's hot take. My hot take for this week something crazy, something that I can't really accept, and there's no excuse for me. In Italian soccer, you had a few players that were caught gambling. And I ask myself, why? Sometimes soccer players think that the rules are not for them. We think we're too privileged sometimes, thinking that we could do something so serious and just get away with it. It bothers me, right? Because it just ruins the integrity of the game. And I don't care if you didn't bet on your team. Betting should not happen. That's it. That's the rule. That's the rule. So why do you think that you have the audacity to do something like that and have fans around the world start second guessing our game? Is the game fixed? Is the game like this or like that? I have a friend that we argue every single time. That sports, oh, this is fixed here, this is fixed there. And I'm like, bro, it is not. Trust me, that is not. I live this. I breathe this. All right. You're not finding people scoring own goals. You're not finding people doing stupid things to fix games. I'm telling them, bro, get that out of your head. That does not happen. But then when these things start happening, right? It just gives those people, like my friend, more ammunition to start thinking like that. And it just kind of puts like a shadow on our game. The game is so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. Let's make everybody enjoy it. Let's make everybody be a part of it the right way. So I'm very disappointed. Their punishment should be whatever the should be. Their punishment should be something that they won't forget. Because betting in sports, there's no room for it. So thank you. Thank you for listening, guys. And we'll talk next week.